The lighthouse on Ravens Point. In the autumn of 1823, on a lonely stretch of coastline near the Atlantic Ocean, stood a lighthouse known as Ravens Point. The lighthouse was isolated from the nearest town by miles of cliffs and forests. Its keeper was a quiet man named Thomas Hale. For 20 years, Thomas faithfully tended the light. Every evening, sailors looked toward Ravens Point and felt comfort when they saw its warm glow shining through storms and darkness. Thomas lived alone. His wife had passed away years before. His children had moved far away. The lighthouse door stood open. Inside, everything appeared normal. Thomas's coat hung neatly on a hook. His breakfast remained untouched. The lamp room was spotless. But Thomas was gone. There were no footprints. No signs of struggle. No blood. No evidence whatsoever. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. The search expands into nearby caves. Strange symbols are discovered on cliff walls. An old sailor reveals a forgotten legend. Ancient journals mention mysterious lights dating back hundreds of years. A hidden tunnel is found beneath the lighthouse. The tunnel leads to a secret chamber. Inside are maps, strange carvings, and evidence that Thomas had been investigating the mystery for years. The glowing lights return. Witnesses report seeing a shadowy figure standing atop the cliffs. Some believe Thomas discovered a hidden smuggling operation. Others believe he encountered something supernatural. Years pass. The mystery deepens. The lighthouse eventually closes. Yet even today, locals claim that on foggy nights 3 glowing lights still appear offshore. And sometimes, a lone figure can be seen standing in the lighthouse window, watching the sea, waiting. No one knows who, or what, it is. The Cursed Town of Raven Creek. A true American mystery-style horror story. Deep in the mountains of the state of Colorado, hidden between thick forests and rocky cliffs, there once stood a small town called Raven Creek. Today, if you search maps, you won't find it. No road signs point toward it. And according to local legends, anyone who tries to find it after sunset never returns the same. The story begins in 1887. At that time, Raven Creek was a thriving mining town. Hundreds of families lived there. Gold had been discovered in the nearby hills, and people arrived from all over America hoping to become rich. For several years, life was good. Then strange things started happening. Miners working underground reported hearing whispers coming from deep within the earth. At first, everyone laughed. They thought the sounds were echoes. But the whispers became clearer. Some miners claimed they heard their own names. Others said the voices promised them unimaginable wealth if they dug deeper. One miner named Thomas Reed became obsessed with the voices. Every day he spent longer underground than anyone else. One evening he stumbled upon a hidden cavern no map had ever shown. Inside the cavern stood a massive black stone covered in symbols nobody could understand. The air around it felt strangely cold. Thomas touched the stone. The next morning he was found wandering through town barefoot and terrified. His face was pale. His eyes looked empty. When people asked what happened, he said only 6 words. Something beneath the mountain is awake. 3 days later he disappeared. No trace of him was ever found. After that, the town's troubles multiplied. Animals began vanishing. Children reported seeing shadowy figures standing among the trees at night. Families heard footsteps on their rooftops despite finding nobody outside. Then came the deaths. A miner was discovered at the bottom of a shaft with no sign of a fall. A shopkeeper was found frozen in fear inside his own home. A sheriff investigating the incident suddenly resigned and left town without explanation. The citizens grew frightened. Many wanted to leave. But something strange happened. Whenever people tried to move away, they reported seeing the same nightmare. A dark figure standing beside the black stone deep underground. The figure had no face. No eyes. Only endless darkness where its features should have been. And every dream ended with the same warning. Raven Creek belongs to me. By the winter of 1891, nearly half the population had fled. Those who remained believed the town was cursed. One stormy night a group of brave miners decided to destroy the black stone. Carrying dynamite, they entered the mountain. More than 50 townspeople watched them disappear into the tunnel. Hours passed. Then a massive explosion shook the valley. The mountain trembled. Dust filled the air. But the miners never came back. Rescue teams searched for days. They found the cavern. The dynamite had exploded. The walls had collapsed. Yet the black stone remained untouched. Not a scratch marked its surface. Beside it lay the miners' tools. But the men themselves had vanished completely. Panic spread through Raven Creek. Families packed their belongings and escaped. Within months the town became almost empty. Then, in the summer of 1892, the final disaster occurred. Travelers passing through the area reported seeing a strange black fog descending from the mountain. The fog swallowed the entire valley. For 3 days nobody could enter. When the fog finally lifted, Raven Creek was silent. Every building remained standing. Every door remained open. Meals sat unfinished on tables. Personal belongings were still inside homes. But not a single resident remained. More than 200 people had vanished. Without a trace. The disappearance became one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the region. Over the years explorers attempted to investigate. Many reported hearing whispers in the forest. Some claimed they saw lights moving between abandoned buildings. Others swore they encountered shadow-like figures watching them from windows. One explorer in 1937 wrote in his journal, "The town feels alive. It watches you." His journal was later found near the edge of the valley. He was never seen again. Even today, local legends say Raven Creek appears only on certain nights. Travelers driving lonely mountain roads have reported seeing distant lights where no town should exist. If they follow those lights, they sometimes find themselves standing before old wooden buildings covered in dust. A church bell rings in the darkness. Children laugh somewhere far away. And from deep beneath the mountain comes the sound of whispers calling their names. When dawn arrives, the town is gone. Only empty wilderness remains. Was Raven Creek truly cursed? Did the black stone hide something ancient beneath the mountain? Or is the entire story simply a legend passed down through generations? Nobody knows. But according to the oldest warning associated with Raven Creek, if you ever hear a voice calling your name from deep underground, don't answer. Because the forgotten thing beneath the mountain may still be waiting. New Moon Eye.